Hey guys, welcome back. You notice anything different? That's right, the hood's on the car finally. Man, it was nice to get it off the sawhorses after there, and I think it looks great. Again, this is actually the original paint, so I mean, I've spent a lot of time with cutting compound and polishing it up, and it's got some little scratches, and even the corners up here is dented, but again, for original paint, man, I think it looks fantastic. So it came out pretty good, and the gaps are decent. Still need to maybe tweak those a little bit. But the project we're gonna be working on now though is the trunk weather stripping. It is completely compressed down and toast. And actually, you know, when I remember when I first drove the car, you could actually even hear, you know, the deck lid rattling. So we're gonna work on getting that off today, and I'll show you that process. I've never done trunk weather stripping before, so we're gonna figure it out as we go and get it all on video and see what you guys think. All right, so what do you need to replace your trunk weather stripping? Well, not a whole lot, to be honest with you. But first and foremost, you need your new weather stripping. And this I picked up from Detroit Muscle Technologies, and they do a lot of Chrysler, Mopar, foams, seals, gasket kits, and such. So I got that from those guys. And then you need some good adhesive, right? And this is a super black weather stripping, or not super, but black weather strip adhesive by 3M. Good stuff. Awesome. And then you need some form of plastic scraper. And it's got to be kind of narrow to get down to that channel, you know. So I ended up borrowing my son's plastic screwdriver from his little Craftsman set. Yeah, he was happy to lend it to me, and it worked great. So anything plastic, you know, you're not going to obviously scratch up your finish. And if it's too wide, like a spackling putty, it won't get in the channel very well. So you need something kind of narrow. So whatever you can find, really. Heat gun. Now, this isn't mandatory, but I'm telling you what, it made a huge difference to help release the glue and help the old weather stripping peel off and come out in one piece and get as much out so you don't have to scrape as much later down the road. So a big help if you can get one. So but that's all you need. It makes the job so much easier. All right, so this is what we're working with here. You can really see, hopefully you can, at least in this video, man, there's like nothing left to it. Super compressed down. I mean, nothing to it. Just completely toast in the corners. So we're gonna try to get this out. I'm gonna get my heat gun out and try to put some heat to it. So just so I'm hoping it doesn't really tear, and hopefully it'll come out. Yeah, and hopefully it'll come out in, you know, one piece or as much as it can. So let's get the heat gun, get it warmed up, and start peeling it back. So I wanted to take a break from the time-lapse video and show you how this was coming up just with the heat and my plastic tool. So it was coming off real easy. Almost, I mean, a couple spots in the corners, in the front corners, it was really stuck down, but I think it came up before, and someone had put some extra glue in the corners. But either way, this is coming out like butter. All right, so when it does start to stick like that, what I like to do is put the heat gun down, and that's where I just like to come in and try to use our plastic scraper, and breaks it loose and keeps it all in one piece. I mean, again, I was able to do all of this, keep the whole weather stripping in one piece, and came out great. All you need is some plastic tool so you don't mar the paint or dig into the metal and scratch it all up. In this instance, yeah, use my son's screwdriver. Perfect. But yeah, I'll try to show you up here in the corners where it kind of stuck a little bit, but not a big deal. So I'm just going to go in here and use the scraper. And again, get all the weather stripping out of it. And clean up the track where I'm going to glue it up. And I just got to get this cleaned up really well. So I'll use some wax and grease remover and get it as clean and spotless as I can, and let it set up and dry, and then I'll be able to put down the new weather stripping and glue it in. All right, so it's all out. I'm just going to go around and make sure all the bits of material are out of the channel before I vacuum it up and come in and use a chemical to try to get the last bits cleaned out that I can. So better off. This corner was probably the stickiest. Definitely, I think they come in with some glue down the road to try to get the gasket seal up better in the corner, I'm guessing. So it's a little tight right there. All right, got that piece off. All right. Just a little bit left. All right, I think now I'm gonna go get the shop vac and give it a vacuum, and then I wipe it down with some chemical and see where I'm at. All right, just vacuumed up the channel, and I'm gonna try some wax and grease remover before any harsher chemicals or anything else. So I'm just gonna wipe this in there and see what kind of results I can get. Man, look at that FV5 Rally Red. It's awesome. So cool. That's not too bad. I think it's going to come up pretty good. I don't think it's going to take too much, well, of anything, really. Maybe clean this up good with the wax and grease remover. Maybe a little more chemical in a couple spots, but in general, I think that's going to be it. Back at it here. Today is actually the next day. Yesterday you saw me get it all stripped off and cleaned up, so it came out real nice. I apologize for the back grind noise. It's pretty cold out. Have the old propane heater cranking right now, but yeah, so it cleaned up real good. Have all the residue up and all the crud out of the channel, and getting ready to install the new weather stripping, right? So you can see the profile of it right here. The long edge, this long flap is the top side, and you have this angled edge which seats right up real nice in the channel, so that's how it's gonna look. So I'm gonna put the GoPro down, switch up my camera angle, and get the weather stripping glue on and do a few inches at a time and hold it. And I had the idea of, I think in the corners I'm going to try to use the clothespins, right? I can use those all on this edge. Over here it's not really going to work. Maybe I can, I don't know, maybe I can put them down actually from above. Maybe that'll actually will work. Maybe I can try it from above, but yep. So we're going to try to keep some tension on it, do a few inches as we go. It's going to take some time, but definitely want it to be right, and we're going to see how it sets up. So, and it's kind of cold in the garage. I'm hoping that doesn't cause too many problems with the glue curing, but maybe it might slow it down a little bit, but we'll see. So letting this sit up for about a good hour and a half, and I had enough clothespins to do half the lid, spacing them about anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches apart. I definitely wanted to use more in the corners and others where they needed a little more force to keep them held down, but I didn't want to let them, I didn't want to take them off too quickly for the fear of this coming up and not having a good bond. But I did a little test strip on some cardboard. I took some of the old weather stripping and bonded it to some cardboard, and I wanted to see how long it held, and I could wasn't afraid of yanking and pulling on that. But this looks really good. So again, it's on there good. You can even feel some of the weather stripping adhesive that I had a little excess in the corners, and it's definitely all cured up nicely. The stuff does kick off pretty quick when you're working with it. So what I'm going to do now is take all these clothes pins off and move around and do the other half. Okay, so I'm back here after letting this sit up for about 3 hours this afternoon, and I'm pretty confident that it is nice and stable. It's not going anywhere. We have good adhesion everywhere. So I'm just going to go around now and take off all the clothespins. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Once I have it all the clothespins off, I'll come back in with the wax and grease remover and a towel and just clean up any little globs I have. So I'm not gonna mess with that. It's a little hard to get to it with all your clothespins on it. Actually, there's some on the clothespin, and it's dried. It's not soft at all. So cool. That worked out pretty good. One package of clothespins allowed me to do half of the weather stripping. So that's what we had. I didn't buy any for this. Thankfully, the wife had some brand new ones she just bought recently, so she must have had some projects, because I don't know what she'd ever use clothespins for, but they came in handy today. So now, actually, mine was so worn out, this trunk weather stripping, the trunk or the deck lid would actually would rattle. So I'm hoping this takes care of it. If not, I'll have to look at, I don't know, maybe trying to make some deck lid adjustments. I'm not really sure, but I have a good feeling this will fix it. But we're going to find out in just a minute. I'm going to try to shut the deck lid and see how it shuts and seals up now. So cool. All right. So yeah, it looks good, man. I like it. All right, let's make sure everything's out of the channel. Everything's good. All right. Here, moment of truth. Oh yeah, that did exactly what I was supposed to do. So, very cool. If anything, the deck lid's a little high in the back half, but let's pop it open again. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, I've got a little bit of cleanup to do, but no problem. No, that's a major success. Absolutely thrilled. Like I said, this will all ease up. You can see how this all kind of straightened up real nice once I took the clothespins off, and all the marks will be gone. No, that's great. Thrilled. All right, man. I think that's a job well done now. Won't have a rattling deck lid going down the road, and plus it's also obviously going to keep the water out. So very cool. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you liked the video. If you like it, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. I'd appreciate it. See you guys next time.